Today I am going to take some point about auditing chapter and regarding the procedures of auditing and under depreciation. Depreciation, it is a word derived from Latin uh, depretium, that means D means decline, pretium means price, that means decrease in the value of fixed and capital assets. Depreciation has been defined as the decrease in the value of asset on account of natural wear and tear or reflection of time. It may be argued sometimes that value of fixed asset increase by a fraction of time, whether the asset is in use or not, during the period of inflation. The value of fixed asset depreciation through less even if the asset is not in use. Therefore, it is a gradual diminution, loss, shrinkage in the utility value of the asset due to wear and tear in use, a fraction of time or obsolescence. In practice, depreciation is commonly used in a wide sense, covering diminution of the value of assets caused by outside fluctuations in realizable and replacement values, and also amortization in the cost of an asset over a period of its use. American Institute of Technology accounts defined depreciation accounting is a system of accounting which aims at distributing the cost or other basic value of tangible equal capital assets less salvage over the estimated useful life of the unit in a systematic and rational manner. It is a process of allocation, not valuation. Depreciation for the year is the possession of total charge under the system that is allocated to the year, although the allocation may properly taken into account the occurrences during the year. It is not intended to be a measurement of the effect of such are all occurrences. So, depreciation means wear and tear, affliction of time, obsolescence, exhaustion, and effect of weather and other elements. What is the basis of depreciation? Original cost versus replacement value. We have said the object of depreciation is to amortize the original cost of the asset over a period of time so that the correct cost of production is ascertained each year. We have also said that object of depreciation is to replace an asset when it is worn out and to keep the capital intact. So it is perfectly correct to calculate depreciation with reference to original cost to find out true cost of production. According to conventional accounting, if the amount is a set part of a depreciation with reference to original cost, it can be the entity be left with adequate amount to replace the asset at future date, especially during a period of inflationary trends. It is not necessary to set apart such amount of depreciation as would be equal to replacement value of the asset at the time it is scrapped. It is for this reason there are views that depreciation should be provided on the basis of replacement value of the asset and not with reference to the historical or original cost. The Companies Act and Income Tax Act specifies the provision of depreciation with reference to original cost only. The practice of providing depreciation with reference to replacement value lacks statutory sanctions. Providing depreciation it is on the basis of replacement value without statutory sanction would result in auditor's comment in his report. No suitable base has been determined to find out the replacement value because the value of currency fluctuates. Depreciation alone is to be charged with the reference to replacement value, and other items of financial data are not adjusted to inflationary trend wherever necessary. So, chief aim of charging depreciation in profit and loss account is to ascertain the cost of production. The provision is the sum for replacement of the asset is consequential. So, depreciation on the inflated value of asset will result in the excess provision or creation of secret reserve in the depreciation provision. Replacement cost cannot be as defined as the owner may not purchase the same type of asset. Due to improvement in technology, sophisticated models may be available in the market at reduced rate, perhaps. So the depreciation with reference to replacement value is a piecemeal method of adopting inflation accounting. So it would be redundant to depreciate the value of fixed asset alone with reference to replacement value, leaving every other asset and liability without required adjustment for inflationary pressures. Then how you measure depreciation? Original cost of the asset. Original cost of asset is the money spent for acquiring, installing, commissioning the asset and subsequent addition or improvement costs associated therewith. So the asset may be purchased from outside or it may be fabricated from within the entity. So if the asset is purchased from vendors, the original cost represents the purchase price. If the trade discount or cash discount is allowed from purchase price, the original cost is to be taken net of such deductions. Certain expenses which are normally considered as revenue are incurred usually in connection with acquisition, installation of capital assets. For example, freight charges are incurred for bringing the asset from the place of vendor to the place of factory or entity. Such revenue expenses must be capitalized and added to original purchase price. If the asset is fabricated from within the entity, the construction cost should be properly ascertained. The time spent by laborers and the materials and stores used and other direct and relevant overhead expenses are to be accumulated properly to ascertain original cost of the asset. Besides purchase price or construction costs incurred for acquisition of the asset or installation or commissioning, expenses are added to original cost. Then, expected usual life of the asset. Having decided the total amount of depreciation to be written off over several years, one must also see limit on the periods within which the total amount is to be wiped off. So as for this reason, the commercial life of an asset is estimated. Whatever be the allocation of depreciable amount for any accounting year, it is to be ensured that the total amount of depreciation is written off within a period of estimated useful life of the asset. The estimation of usual life of the asset is a technical matter. It involves expertise. So exactitude cannot be expected in such estimation. It is to be done. It is a useful life of an asset expressed in terms of various units of measurement. It may be expressed in terms of number of years for which the asset may be commercially fit. A number of machine hours and machine may last, or number of production units that may be manufactured within the useful life of the machine, and so on. So this may be a physical wear and tear, extent of use of number of shifts operated, quantum of extraction in case of quarry, mines, and terms of lease, repair, renewal, of policy of management, skill and efficiency of operators, of machines, contingency of machine technology, it becoming obsolete. Now, estimated residual value of the asset. After the asset ceases to be used or it is it may have some reasonable value, even if it is junk. So the amount of scrap value is to be estimated at the time of acquisition of the asset. If only very negligible amount would be realized, the scrap value can be taken to the nil. So significant amount can be realized on disposal. So the amount is to be assessed approximately. Thank you.